Yes. Yeah.
But like the comparison, like with me and some of the other guys.
So that'd be something neat to see, the Harris Centers at
The Pirates playing in Williams.
Welcome to Another Sports Podcast, episode 39, the home of sports talk for everyone. I'm David.
I'm Jason.
Welcome aboard. NFL's finally over.
That it is. That it is.
Honestly, this has actually been a satisfying playoffs with scores and things like that because the games were close. They weren't blowouts. A lot of big news.
Yeah. Everything was very fun to watch.
Yeah, it was very entertaining, which is kind of not what it's been for the NFL for the past few years. Especially in the Super Bowl where games have been blown out. I mean, especially last year, 31-90. 31-90, 31-9.
31-90 would be quite a blowout, to be honest.
I'll say. You had 31-9, which was not a game. And then with New England back in 19, 13-3 was not really much of a game. It was a kind of a slow game. But this one, this Super Bowl was entertaining, 23-20, going to the Rams, which congratulations to the LA Rams for winning the Super Bowl. And what's funny is, and it didn't dawn on me till after I read it and looked it up. This is the first Super Bowl since 2013 that did not have either Brady, Peyton Manning, or Patrick Mahomes.
Interesting.
The first Super Bowl since 2013.
To not have at least one of them.
Well, what's that?
To not have at least one of them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because in 2013, it was Baltimore and San Francisco. And then the following year, Seattle and Denver, Peyton Manning.
Yep.
When he played for Denver. Then, of course, New England.
Denver, New England, Kansas City, and Tampa. Yep. Jeez.
Brady, Mahomes. Yeah, this is the first one since 2013 to not have one of those three players in it. So some of these weird facts are always interesting. And then when you go look, like, holy crap.
So what were your thoughts on the game? I mean, I thought it was a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, I thought it was a good game. I mean, it was back and forth. I mean, of course, I was going for the Bengals.
It was a physical game.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I heard a lot. I mean, after talking with some people at work and things like that, and, other people around, they were kind of upset towards the end of the game, not just because the Bengals lost, but the way the game was being called at the end compared to throughout.
Well, and I provided you a link that has a theory behind some of that.
Yeah, but some of the calls, though, were not, and we're going to get to that theory in a second. But some of those theories were not of that region. I mean, if you look at some of the plays, they were not wearing the normal gloves.
Right, but that one play was the one to change the tide of the game.
So the link that Jason provided was from Uniwatch. Was the one player for the Bengals wore orange gloves.
Linebacker Logan Wilson.
And
go ahead.
Where everybody else was wearing white gloves because it matches the uniform of the opposing team. But the orange gloves was an interesting pick. But then again, why? I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, the theory behind it is if he was like everyone else on his team and had white gloves on, the refs may not have noticed the holding that led to the holding call because his gloves would have matched the jersey and therefore would have blended in better. Because he's wearing this ridiculously bright orange glove and he's like holding onto the jersey, it's
rifle
a little
season.
Obvious.
It's I don't know if that could make a difference, though. I mean, there's the theory, yeah.
It's a theory, but I think it's a sound theory because there is a reason why the defense wears gloves that match.
It's a good thought. Yeah, it's a good thought for it. I mean, it would be kind of upsetting if you lost because of a pair of gloves.
You know what? If I was on that team and I saw him wear orange gloves and he was the one to get that holding call to change the game, I'd be mad.
Yeah.
I'd be chewing him out in the sidelines. Like, what is wrong with you, stupid?
Pretty much. I mean, that's interesting. Like how somebody thought of that, not just seen, but actually thought to make the article up for it. Like to actually see, like, hey, this person wore orange gloves. Maybe that's the key. Maybe that somebody's paying that close attention to that much detail.
And I gotta reference Paul Lucas is the founder of Uniwatch, and he's the one who posted the article on Tuesday. But he just said that an anonymous reader pointed it out to him. So someone had to have reached out to him to point it out and provide the screen cap that they used in the article.
But once again, somebody found that detail.
Well, to shameless plug for Uniwatch yet again on this podcast. It's for people who get it. And so clearly this anonymous reader gets it. and notice that insignificant detail that led to this theory. And I think it's a solid theory. Moving away from the theory, I think the Bengals have nothing to be ashamed about. They're young. They're talented. I think this is just the first step. They'll be back.
Oh yeah, who would have thought though? I mean, nobody thought the Bengals would have done anything like they did past seasons, and then them this year to go to the Super Bowl. Who would have thought them in the Super Bowl?
Dude, I picked up Joe Burrow as my backup quarterback in fantasy. I had both Super Bowl quarterbacks on my fantasy team this year.
Well, at least the one that you had for X amount of years won the Super Bowl.
I've come to terms I'm not going to get either of them next year.
Go figure, right? Now, this is a crazy thing. I was reading this the next day. The wide receiver for the Rams, Van Jefferson. How good of a day are you having when you just won the Super Bowl? During your celebration, you find out your wife went into labor mid-game. So then you just finished celebrating the Super Bowl, and then you go to the hospital to see, to be with your wife for their second child.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
How cool. I mean,
you couldn't write it better than that.
No, you couldn't. I mean, think about how much of an adrenaline of a rush he was on, not just winning the Super Bowl, but, his second child being born.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that, that's one hell of a crazy rush.
Let me tell you, one of the hardest things in that game for me as a fan and a viewer to see was Joe Burrow after he got sacked at the end of the game. Because the camera zoomed in on him and he was tearing up immediately. That kid freaking he had to have internally been feeling like he was carrying that team on his shoulders.
Well, he's just
as soon as he got taken out with that final sack and he's tearing up, that killed me.
Well, the thing is, though, I believe every quarterback has that feeling of where they carry on their shoulders because they are the quarterback. They are where the play starts. They are part of where the play starts.
Right, but not
so that feeling's always there.
Not every quarterback, when they lose the Super Bowl, reacts like that. Like, that was genuine. It took over.
Yeah, the emotion. I can only imagine what he was going through. I mean, you're at the big game like that, and all of a sudden, taking a team that has not been to probably the playoffs in who knows
92.
How long. Well, there you go. Hasn't been since 92. He takes them to the Super Bowl. That rush.
I even said to Jamie watching the game, and when that happened and he started tearing up, I'm like, they have nothing to feel bad about.
No,
they lost in the Super Bowl, but at the beginning of the year, no one thought they'd even be in the playoffs, and now they're in the Super Bowl.
That team, the Bengals team right now has nothing to be ashamed about.
They should be able to walk away from that game head held high.
Exactly. They have nothing to be ashamed about. They have played their hearts out to make it even that far when, one, nobody expected them to be there. 2, they haven't been to the playoffs since, like you said, 92. And then here they are in the Super Bowl. And they're a young team.
Jesus, so, think about this. Half that team probably wasn't even alive when the Bengals were last in the Super Bowl.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
Good Lord.
Wouldn't doubt it.
That just hit me out of nowhere. That's why if you saw me and I went like that, it's because it hit me while you were talking.
Yeah, I saw you were actually like, what is – then as soon as you said that, it's like, okay. No, you're right. I mean, how many players were? If any.
I'm pulling up the roster now to answer this question.
Oh, here we go. So I know the rosters normally do have stats on the players, like from date of birth and all that.
The official roster does not, but I'll find it. Continue. Sorry.
But this playoff year, though, not just the Super Bowl ending, but with the whole playoffs in general, how close the games have been. Besides, I mean, there's only a few that were not close, like when the Bills beat the Patriots 47-17, and that was the wild card game, and that was probably one of the biggest onslaughts of the whole. I'm sorry, that and the Buccaneers beating the Eagles 31-15. Those, I think, were the only 2 games that were not decided at the very, or close to the very end.
Yeah,
I think that So other than that, every game was right up to the end, which is great. Which is what you want to see. It's not like you want to see that blowout. I mean, the Chiefs. Okay, I'm sorry. Just looking at more of the scores here: 42-21, Chiefs over the Steelers, Rams over the Cardinals, 34-11. But those, I mean, and that was just the wild card weekend, and those were the only big blowout games. Everything else was tight, like by either 3 points or a touchdown or just the final play of a big goof, like let's say the Cowboys at the end of the 49ers game. That whole big goof. All right, what did you just send me? 6 players in their 30s. And only one in their late 30s. Is that the current one right now?
Yep, that's the team that played in the Super Bowl.
So 6 players were alive when they were last in the playoffs.
Yep.
Wow.
You know how old I feel right now?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, wow, that's interesting. 6 players in the Super Bowl that were alive.
Well, on the Bengals team. On the Bengals
team. On the Bengals team. Yes, on the Bengals team. Sorry. But just that fact alone is pretty interesting. That's an interesting fact.
That hurts, man. That hurts a lot.
Oh, that's funny.
And you know what? Speaking of hurting a lot, I don't know if you've seen any of the memes with the halftime show, but there was a great meme that said, the people in their 30s, in their late 20s and early 40s. This, for once, they're going to have a Super Bowl for young people. No, nothing for old people like the Rolling Stones and Aerosmith. And damn it, because now we're old. The halftime show is geared to our age group now.
I've seen on TikTok where it had kids reacting to the halftime show. They're all sitting there on their phones, just like, what's going on, and then it showed all the parents just dancing and everything else, singing along. It's like, yeah. Because it's funny, as I'm listening to these songs, I'm just like, oh wow.
My only complaint is they did not do nothing but a G thing. That is the song they should have let off with. Other than that, it was a great halftime show. Not as great as Prince. I'm partial, though.
Of course, there can't be a Super Bowl without some type of a controversy, but this one wasn't a huge one as before. Did you hear about that?
What's the controversy?
The controversy was that Eminem was not supposed to kneel, of all things to pick at.
I heard about this, and I heard it was because he was honoring Tupac. Because when Dre sat the piano, he played a piano opening to a Tupac song, and that's when Eminem kneeled. That's the only thing I heard. I kind of just didn't.
Yeah, I just
read
thought,
about
like,
it because
really?
I just didn't care. No offense
Well,
to Eminem or the people upset. I just
no,
what it is.
Well, the fact is that everybody's trying to find some type of a controversy because how many controversies in halftime shows have there been in the past years? Everybody's trying to find something. I thought
Can't
it was
make
great.
everyone happy.
I thought it was a great show.
It was. I'm still hoping for a Foo Fighters one eventually because that would be amazing. No, they're like the only crossover rock band anymore. So it'd be cool to have a really great rock band who's now in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame play the halftime show. It'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, they are great bands. That's for sure.
Wish I could afford tickets to see them. They're a little salty,
right? I like to afford tickets to Shinedown.
That's salty too. That's me and Jamie's favorite band. As a couple, it's our favorite band.
Yeah, I would love to see them.
But I guess before we get this finished up, we got to do it. What was your favorite commercial?
Honestly, I wasn't paying attention just because the past few years, the commercials have tanked to a point to where I just don't care anymore. It literally got to that point to where when the commercials were playing, I was just like zoned out until the game came back on, or I got to go get a drink or something or grab something to eat. Well, because the commercials in the past few years, to me, have just not been, I don't know, just funny like they normally would be way back.
I know a lot of people like the one with Arnold as Zeus.
I did see that one.
Salma Hayek as his wife.
Yeah, with the electric car.
And who's going to complain about seeing Salma Hayek? But I got to be honest, my favorite, and no one's talked about it, was the Pringles one, where the guy got his hand stuck in the Pringles can and died with the hand still stuck in the Pringles can. I thought it was so dumb. It was funny.
Yeah, I did see that one. Like I said, there was very few ones I saw, but I did see the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Pringles one. But I just really zoned out with them, just because, like I said, they have not been good the past few years.
I thought those were two really good ones, and I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head. But the Doctor Strange one, but that was more to get you to actually watch the full trailer. Which I'm a Marvel guy, I'm an X-Men nerd. I'm very hyped to see this movie.
It should be good.
It should be amazing. But this was a great Super Bowl, probably one of the best ones I can remember in a while. Very competitive, very hard hitting, and that's what I want to see in a football game.
Yeah, it definitely was a good one. I mean, well, like you said, just this whole playoffs with just those few games that were mentioned that were blowouts throughout the playoffs, but were very close coming down to the Super Bowl. Like the closer you got to the Super Bowl, the better the games got.
Yeah.
And then to have the Super Bowl kind of keep that momentum going to where it was a good back and forth battle really made it a good, entertaining game. So yeah, that's definitely, was a good NFL playoff season, playoff season, a good Super Bowl. And who knows, those orange gloves might have cost the Bengals the Super Bowl. Who knows? It's
a solid theory. I'll say that. And that's why I wanted to share it with you. Cause I think it's crazy as it sounds.
It is a theory. It is a theory. It could be something
holds some weight.
Yeah. Because if you're wearing a white jersey and you have bright orange gloves, you're going to stand out.
Yep.
So on that note, that'd be the end of the first period. Be right back.